Hey, Sanctuary members, welcome to Luke chapter 15. We're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive today because it's a beautiful chapter. It's got some beautiful stories in it, and I kind of wanted to unpack it with you. So let's talk about this. It's a chapter that reveals God's heart more clearly than almost anything else Jesus ever said. He's speaking in parables. He's telling us three different stories here. And when we look beneath the surface, the details become even more special and honestly pretty interesting. So let's look at the first story, the part one, the lost sheep, God's reckless pursuit. In this story, Jesus says the shepherd leaves 99 sheep in the wilderness to rescue the one who wandered off. So to his original audience, if you think about that, Jesus would have sounded crazy, unbelievable, because shepherds wouldn't risk an entire flock for one sheep. No responsible leader would do that. But Jesus wants to feel that little surprise because he wants to shock you, saying, this is how committed God is to finding you. He would risk his entire living, his entire flock for you. For love that doesn't calculate, it doesn't wait, it pursues you. It goes after you, it searches for you because it so desperately knows how important you are to the flock. The second story is of the lost coin, the God who searches for your identity. This story centers on a woman, and this was kind of radical in itself. Jewish rabbis rarely used a woman as the main character in a parable, but Jesus does, intentionally. And she's searching for a lost coin that was almost certainly, when I did a little digging, part of her 10-coin bridal headdress, the symbol of her covenant, her identity, her place in a family and in a community. And so when Jesus tells this story, he's saying, when you lose pieces of who you are, God searches until he restores that for you. It's not really about money. It's about identity and belonging to something and dignity. And God refuses to let that dignity stay lost. If you work together with him and search for it, he shows you how important that is. And then there's the prodigal son. We've all heard this many times, the God who runs towards you. The younger son's actions were deeply offensive in culture. Asking for his inheritance early was kind of the same thing as saying, I wish you were dead. So when he finally returns home, normally the community probably would have performed a shame ceremony, I learned, to cut him off forever. But the father runs. And older men in that culture, by the way, never ran. He runs to protect his son from shame. He wraps him in honor before anyone else can speak, before anyone else has an opinion. He calls for a robe, a ring, and some sandals. So think about that. That robe instantly restores his dignity. The ring restores his authority, and the sandals restore his freedom. God just doesn't forgive. He restores. He puts us back